magic word. Here in the secret kindergarten, the world's best show for kids is starting. The secret kindergarten radio show. Use your ears and your imagination. We're going to play, we're having fun. The magic secret kindergarten on the Revolution radio station. Welcome to the Secret Kindergarten on Revolution Radio. And it's a show for you, the young children of the world. 2.5 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. Are you 6 years old? Anyway, I got a tin whistle. Do you know what a tin whistle is? And I've been practicing. So begins the secret kindergarten. And if you practice and try, you can get really good. Well, I'm not really good yet, but I will be one day if I keep practicing and trying. And I got something to share with you. I'm feeling resentful. I'm going to tell you about being resentful. I'm feeling resentful right now. I can't believe how resentful I am when these kids, they asked me what my name is, and I said my name is Gino, as in G. No. And they said, ha ha, you're Johnny Boy. And they thought it was funny. I hate being called Johnny Boy. All the kids end up calling me that. What's so funny about Johnny Boy anyway? And the kids, when they called me Johnny Boy, I didn't do anything about it. And I felt angry when they said that. But I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything back. I did nothing. I just bottled it all up, and all my angry feelings, they didn't go anywhere. And now I feel resentful. And resentful's the worst place to be. I just wanted to share that with you, because if you get angry, it's good to be angry, because that's a feeling, and it's good to use your feelings. But you know what to do anyway, because you're a super magic kid with the whole universe on your side. And I think we just got a little bit of time for some nice tunes from my friend Nancy Stewart, nancymusic.com. This song's called Bought Me a Cat.
I bought me a cat, the cat pleased me. I fed my cat under yonder tree, and the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee. I bought me a hen, the hen pleased me. I fed my hen under yonder tree. The hen went chipsy-chopsy, the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee. I bought me a duck, the duck pleased me. I fed my duck under yonder tree. The duck went slishy-sloshy, the hen went chipsy-chopsy, the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee. I bought me a goose, the goose pleased me. I fed my goose under yonder tree. The goose went quack, the duck went slishy-sloshy, the hen went chipsy-chopsy, the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee. I bought me a dog, the dog pleased me. I fed my dog under yonder tree. The dog went boo, the goose went quack, the duck went slishy-sloshy, the hen went chipsy-chopsy, the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee. I bought me a cow, the cow pleased me. I fed my cow under yonder tree. The cow went moo, the dog went boo, the goose went quack, the duck went slishy-sloshy, The hen went chipsy-chopsy, the cat went fiddly-fee, fiddly-fee.
Do you have a cat? I bought me a cat a long time ago, but she's still with me, and her name's Mimi. And she's my favorite thing in the whole world. This song is called Fly Little Bird. I think we just got time.
Fly, little bird, across the mountains, fly out over the sea. Come home, little bird, you must be tired, and I have food for thee. Fly, little bird, across the mountains, fly out over the sea. Come home, little bird, you must be tired, and I have food for thee. Fly, little bird, across the mountains, fly out over the sea. Come home, little bird, you must be tired, and I have food for thee. Fly, little bird, across the mountains, fly out over the sea. Come home, little bird, you must be tired, and I have food for thee.
And now, I think we're going to some ads. Maybe not. But now it's time for Tarot. Tarot, the magic card game. Have you seen Mummy and Daddy use the tarot cards? Have you got any cards? Well, anyway, tarot are magic cards. And hopefully your mummies and daddies are listening to this too, because this is magic for everyone. And guess what? Last week, the card was the Two of Cups. Do you remember? The Owl and the Pussycat. Well, guess what? I pulled another card for this show, and guess which card it is? It's the Two of Cups again. Because the Two of Cups is such a magical, super important card for the Secret Kindergarten. It stands for good feelings between one another. It stands for celebration. And two people bringing their own distinct strengths and qualities with them as they join together. Working well with another person, and being drawn or attracted to something or someone. And that's a little bit about what the Two of Cups means. And I'm just going to take a moment for the mummies and daddies out there. I hope you don't mind, all you young children of the world. One cup out of the two cups. One cup represents the young child with an abundance of the subconscious energy, imagination, and creativity. The cup is full of that. And the other cup still represents those things, but just the imagination and the subconscious of the grown up. So one cup is the young child, and the other cup is the imagination and the creativity of the adult. And the mum or dad presents a full cup of imagination and creativity to share and play with the young child. So the angel can lift up the young child and the grown up. And there's a bit of the color red on this card. And that symbolizes life, vitality, growth, and the development of the young child. And there is healing that's going on in this card too. When a parent engages with their young in creative play, growth, love, and healing is created for both. It develops a love for the spiritual aspect of life. It creates courage and a sense of belonging to the family, the world, and to God and the universe for the young child. The Two of Cups symbolizes the exciteful, fruitful, and challenging, beginning of your special parenting relationship with your young child. The excitement of all the magic you can discover will be met with challenges, and patience will be required, but patience grows over time and develops your intuition. In this space, the Two of Cups, we create a world without giving energy to naughty growing up concepts of government, police, military, corporatism, greed, power, money, monetary systems and that. So the Two of Cups is a super important card. But anyway, enough growing up talk, because we are going to play the Owl and the Pussycat, because that's what the Two of Cups represents. So here we go. Let's listen to the Owl and the Pussycat.
The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar, "Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are, what a beautiful pussy you are." Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there in a wood a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon.
Wow. The Owl and the Pussycat, they really love each other. And I'll just repeat this little bit from Dorothy Morrison, from her whimsical tarot, which relates the tarot cards to nursery rhymes. Someone once said that love is a many-splendid thing. No truer words were ever spoken, for it crosses all boundaries, soothes all hurts, and fills all emptiness. But as wondrous as that is, falling in love is different. It makes us feel happy and sick at the same time. It's as if we need that other person to justify the whole of our existence. So it is with the Owl and the Pussycat. Nothing can stop their hearts from beating as one. They are totally devoted to each other and committed to sharing what life has to offer. Well, that's the Owl and the Pussycat. They really love each other. Wow. But you can also love things like, you could love having peanut butter sandwich for lunch. You could love doing painting. So there's all different types of love. The Two of Cups for you can be you just really wanting to do or really enjoying doing a play activity. What I hope today is you find a friend, and even that, if that's your mummy or daddy, to play with and do some cool activities. That'd be great. And we're going to talk about the animals, the owl and the pussycat, because the animals are here to teach us. And I'll talk to you about the spirit of the owl and the spirit of the cat. They're here to help you today. The owl is with you, and he wants to help you discover your hidden talents. He wants to help you find what you're awesome at doing. I wonder what talent you have. The owl also says tonight is a good night to stay up late. Stay up late like an owl. Maybe after Mum and Dad turn your lights off, you could make an owl noise like this. And the spirit of the cat is here to dance with you. Can you dance and move? Can you move slowly like a cat when they're being sneaky? Do you want to try it now? Are you moving slowly like a cat? Anyway, the spirit of the cat, she's here to help you be magical, because you are magical, and all the grown-ups in the world need your help to see the magic that we all have inside us. So do you want to be magic today? Well, you can do super awesome extra today with the spirit of the cat. And there's a cool game you can play with your mummy and daddy with a growing up. It's an acting game, a tarot theatre game, and it's called A Secret Revealed. And all you have to do is, and this one's good for the mummies and daddies, to ask their kids, does the owl have a secret? And I wonder what that secret would be. Does the cat have a secret? And I wonder what that secret would be. And that's it. I wonder what the owl's thinking in that nursery rhyme. I wonder what the cat is thinking. And if your mummy and daddy ask those kind of questions, you're very lucky. Because that's a cool question to be asked if you're a kid. Because your mummy and daddy should want to hear your answers of these really, these really deep questions. Because you're super awesome, that's why. And that is the end of the tarot section. And we have time to play a song that we didn't get to play before. And this one's called Hey There, What Are You Thankful For?
Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for?
Oh, whoa, where am I? Can you tell where I am? That's right. I'm in the woods. I'm in the English woods. Because it's nature time. And the nature topic for the Secret Kindergarten show, the best show in the universe for kids, the topic, we're talking about owls. Now, I love owls. I love all animals, but owls are super spooky. And they're crazy. And they're weird. And they're kind of quiet. And then you hear them in the woods at night. I love owls. And I just want to get straight into the first story for you. There's a lot to learn about the owls, and we're going to learn about them through stories. And this one's called Why the Owl is Not King of the Birds by Ellen C. Babbitt. And it's narrated by the lovely Susan Morin from Portland, Maine. Just one moment. We will play that. What birds can you hear in the meantime? Which birds do you think they are? Oh well. Oh well, that's okay. That story does not want to be played today. But that's alright, because I got another one. And I got a lovely poem I could read you too. So how about this story? This one is called Why the Hooty Owl Does Not Play on the Green Meadows by Thornton W. Burgess from Mother West Wind's Children. And this one's narrated by Lynn Thompson. Now this is a really good one.
Why Hooty the Owl Does Not Play on the Green Meadows by Thornton W. Burgess from Mother West Wind's Children. LibriVox Coffee Break Collection, number 8. The Merry Little Breezes of Old Mother West Wind were having a good night game of tag down on the Green Meadows. They were having such a jolly time while they waited for Old Mother West Wind and her big bag to take them to their home behind the Purple Hills. Jolly, round, red Mr. Sun had already put his nightcap on. Black shadows crept softly out from the Purple Hills onto the Green Meadows. The Merry Little Breezes grew sleepy, almost too sleepy to play, for Old Mother West Wind was very, very late. Farther and farther and farther out onto the Green Meadows crept the black shadows. Suddenly one seemed to separate from the others. Softly, oh so softly, yet swiftly, it floated towards the Merry Little Breezes. One of them happened to look up and saw it coming. It was the same little breeze who one time stayed out all night. When he looked up and saw this seeming shadow moving so swiftly, he knew that it was no shadow at all. "Here comes Hooty the Owl!" cried the little breeze. Then all the Merry Little Breezes stopped their game of tag to look at Hooty the Owl. It is seldom they have a chance to see him, for usually Hooty the Owl does not come out on the Green Meadows until after the Merry Little Breezes are snugly tucked in bed behind the Purple Hills. "Perhaps Hooty the Owl will tell us why it is that he never comes out to play with us," said one of the Little Breezes. But just as Hooty the Owl floated over to them, up came Old Mother West Wind, and she was in a great hurry, for she was late, and she was tired. She had had a busy day, a very busy day indeed, hunting for a rain cloud which had gone astray. So now she just opened her big bag and tumbled all the Merry Little Breezes into it as fast as she could, without giving them so much as a chance to say good evening to Hooty the Owl. Then she took them off home behind the Purple Hills. Of course the Merry Little Breezes were disappointed, very much disappointed, but they were also very sleepy, for they had played hard all day. "Never mind," said one of them drowsily. "To-morrow we'll ask Great Grandfather Frog why it is that Hooty the Owl never comes out to play with us on the Green Meadows. He'll know." The next morning Old Mother West Wind was late in coming down from the Purple Hills. When she finally did turn the Merry Little Breezes out of her bag onto the Green Meadows, jolly, round, red Mr. Sun was already quite high in the blue sky. The Merry Little Breezes waited just long enough to say good-bye to Old Mother West Wind, and then started a mad race to see who could reach the Smiling Pool first. There they found Great Grandfather Frog sitting on his big green lily pad as usual. He was very contented with the world, was Grandfather Frog, for fat green flies had been more foolish than usual that morning, and already he had all that he could safely tuck inside his white and yellow waistcoat. "Good morning, Grandfather Frog," shouted the Merry Little Breezes. "Will you tell us why it is that Hooty the Owl never comes out to play with us on the Green Meadows?" "Chug-a-rum!" said Great Grandfather Frog gruffly. "How should I know?" You see, Grandfather Frog likes to be teased a little. "But oh, you do know, for you are so old and so very wise!" cried the Merry Little Breezes all together. Grandfather Frog smiled, for he likes to be thought very wise, and also he was feeling very good indeed, that morning. "Chug-a-rum!" said Grandfather Frog. "If you sit perfectly still, I'll tell you what I know about Hooty the Owl. But remember, you must sit perfectly still, per-fect-ly still." The Merry Little Breezes sighed, for it is the hardest thing in the world for them to keep perfectly still unless they are asleep. But they promised that they would, and when they had settled down, each one in the heart of a great white water lily, Grandfather Frog began. "Once upon a time, when the world was young, Hooty the Owl's grandfather, 1,000 times removed, used to fly about in daylight with the other birds. He was very big and very strong and very fierce, was Mr. Owl. He had great big claws and a hooked bill, just as Hooty the Owl has now, and he was afraid of nothing and nobody. Now when people are very big and very strong and afraid of nothing and nobody, they are very apt to care for nothing and nobody but themselves. So it was with Mr. Owl. Whatever he saw that he wanted, he took, no matter to whom it belonged, for there was no one to stop him. As I have already told you, Mr. Owl was very big and very strong and very fierce, and he was a very great glutton. It took a great many little birds and little animals to satisfy his appetite. But he didn't stop there. No, sir, he didn't stop there. He used to kill harmless little meadow people just for the fun of killing, and because he could. Every day he grew more savage. Finally, no one smaller than himself dared stir on the Green Meadows when he was around. The little birds no longer sang. The field mice children no longer played among the meadow grasses. Those were sad days, very sad days indeed, on the Green Meadows, said Grandfather Frog with a sigh. At last Old Mother Nature came to visit the Green Meadows, and she soon saw what a terrible state things were in. No one came to meet her, for you see no one dared to show himself for fear of fierce old Mr. Owl. Now I have told you that Mr. Owl was afraid of nothing and nobody, but this was not quite true, for he was afraid, very much afraid, of Old Mother Nature. When he saw her coming, he was sitting on top of a tall dead stump, and he at once tried to look very meek and very innocent. Old Mother Nature wasted no time. "Where are all my little meadow people, and why do they not come to give me greeting?" demanded Old Mother Nature of Mr. Owl. Mr. Owl bowed very low. "I'm sure I don't know. I think they must all be taking a nap," said he. Now you can't fool Old Mother Nature, and it's of no use to try. No, sir, you can't fool Old Mother Nature. She just looked at Mr. Owl, and she looked at the feathers and fur scattered about the foot of the dead stump. Mr. Owl stood first on one foot and then on the other. He tried to look Old Mother Nature in the face, but he couldn't. You see, Mr. Owl had a guilty conscience, and a guilty conscience never looks anyone straight in the face. He did wish that Mother Nature would say something, did Mr. Owl, but she didn't. She just looked and looked and looked and looked straight at Mr. Owl. The longer she looked, the uneasier he got, and the faster he shifted from one foot to the other. Finally he shifted so fast that he seemed to be dancing on top of the old stump. Gradually, a few at a time, the little meadow people crept out from their hiding places and formed a great circle around the old dead stump. With Old Mother Nature there, they felt sure that no harm could come to them. Then they began to laugh at the funny sight of fierce old Mr. Owl hopping from one foot to the other on top of the old dead stump. It was the first laugh on the Green Meadows for a long, long, long time. Of course Mr. Owl saw them laughing at him, but he could think of nothing but the sharp eyes of Old Mother Nature boring straight through him, and he danced faster than ever. The faster he danced, the funnier he looked, and the funnier he looked, the harder the little meadow people laughed. Finally, Old Mother Nature slowly raised a hand and pointed a long forefinger at Mr. Owl. All the little meadow people stopped laughing to hear what she would say. "Mr. Owl," she began, "I know and you know why none of my little meadow people were here to give me a greeting. And this shall be your punishment. From now on your eyes shall become so tender that they cannot stand the light of day, so that hereafter you shall fly about only after round red Mr. Sun has gone to bed behind the Purple Hills. No more shall my little people who play on the Green Meadows all day long have cause to fear you, for no more shall you see to do them harm." When she ceased speaking, all the little meadow people gave a great shout, for they knew that it would be even as Mother Nature had said. Then began such a frolic as the Green Meadows had not known for many a long day. But Mr. Owl flew slowly and with difficulty over the darkest part of the deep wood, for the light hurt his eyes dreadfully, and he could hardly see. And as he flew, the little birds flew around him in a great cloud, and plucked out his feathers, and tormented him, for he could not see to harm them. Grandfather Frog paused and looked dreamily across the Smiling Pool. Suddenly he opened his big mouth, and then closed it with a snap. One more foolish green fly had disappeared inside the white and yellow waistcoat. "Chug-a-rum!" said Grandfather Frog. "Those were sad days indeed for Mr. Owl. He couldn't hunt for his meals by day, for the light blinded him. At night he could see but little in the darkness, so he got little to eat, and he grew thinner and thinner and thinner, until he was but a shadow of his former self. He was always hungry, was Mr. Owl, always hungry. No one was afraid of him now, for it was the easiest thing in the world to keep out of his way. At last Old Mother Nature came again to visit the Green Meadows and the Green Forest. Far, far in the darkest part of the deep wood she found Mr. Owl. When she saw how very thin and how very, very miserable he was, her heart was moved to pity, for Old Mother Nature loves all her subjects, even the worst of them. All the fierceness was gone from Mr. Owl. He was so weak that he just sat huddled in the thickest part of the great pine. You see, he had been able to catch very little to eat. "Mr. Owl," said Mother Nature gently, "you now know something of the misery and the suffering which you have caused others, and I think you have been punished enough. No more may you fly abroad over the Green Meadows while the day is bright, for still is the fear of you in the hearts of all my little meadow people. But hereafter you shall not find it so difficult to get enough to eat. Your eyes shall grow big, bigger than the eyes of any other bird, so that you shall be able to see in the dusk and even in the dark. Your ears shall grow large, larger than the ears of any of the little forest or meadow people, so that you can hear the very least sound. Your feathers shall become as soft as down, so that when you fly none shall hear you." And from that day it was even so. Mr. Owl's eyes grew big and bigger, until he could see as well in the dusk as he used to see in the full light of day. His ears grew large and larger, until his hearing became so keen that he could hear the least rustle, even at a long distance. And when he flew he made no sound, but floated like a great shadow. The little meadow people no longer feared him by day, but when the shadows began to creep out from the purple hills each night, and they heard his voice, "Woot to woo hoo woo," they felt all the old fear of him. If they were wise, they did not stir, but if they were foolish and so much as shivered, Mr. Owl was sure to hear them and silently pounce upon them. So once more Mr. Owl grew strong and fierce, but only at night had anyone cause to fear him, and then only the foolish and timid. And now you know, concluded Grandfather Frog, why it is that Hooty the Owl never comes out to play with you on the Green Meadows, and why his eyes are so big and his ears so large. Thank you, Grandfather Frog," cried the Merry Little Breezes, springing up from the white water lilies and stretching themselves. "We'll bring you the first foolish green fly we can find." Then away they rushed to hunt for it.
Welcome back to the woods. And guess what? I love that story. I do. I love that story. And what's the moral of that story? Well, Mother Nature made the owl that way to maintain some balance in the forest and on the meadows especially. So the owl wasn't really, encouraged to go out during the day and eat all the poor little animals. But he became really good at the night. And for us kids out there, well, we just have to be brave and live our life, and we don't have to be afraid of anything coming to gobble us up. And because we're all magic, I want to talk about spirit guides. I want to start with this one little quote. If you talk with the animals, they will talk with you, and you will know each other. If you do not talk to them, you will not know them. And what you do not know, you will fear. What one fears, one destroys. And when I was younger, I was really scared of dogs because I never talked to the dogs. I never spent any time with dogs. And then when a dog came up to me barking, I was terrified. So it's good to talk to the animals. It's good to be with the animals. And the owl has a message for us, a magical message for us kids. Quietly observe your environment, watching and listening for signs that will give you answers to any questions you may have. So if you ever have a question, you can just sit and look and listen for an answer. You don't even have to ask anybody. You can just ask the owl. You can imagine the owl and ask. And if you need any help, you can ask the owl for help. If you want to find what you're good at, and you want to find what you're good at, and you want to share it with other people, you can ask the owl for help. Because all the animals are here to help you. But today, and this week especially, the owl's here to help you. So, don't forget that, kids. And I've got a little thing to play you here. It's the sound of a real owl. Do you want to hear it? I definitely do, so I'm going to play it. So let's go. Okay, here we go. You ready? Whoa, that is so cool. Let's play it again. What kind of owl is it? It's a tawny owl. Wow. And now let's listen to some songs. We haven't heard one in ages. Nancy Stewart. This one's called Nocturnal Animals because the owl is a nocturnal animal.
On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Ooh, ooh, what do I see? A wise old owl looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Meow, meow, what do I see? A big black cat just looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. E, what do I see? A little bat just looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Ribbit, ribbit, what do I see? A big green tree frog looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Squeak, 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 what do I see? A garden dormouse looking at me.
We just got a little bit of time for the Owl Song by Nancy Stewart.
Who are you? The owl seems to say. Who are you? He's asking every day. Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you who? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Who are you? Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you who? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Yes, I have questions too.
And this is Gino from The Secret Kindergarten. And thank you for tuning in to Revolution.radio, the #1 listener-supported radio station in the world. So please help support our efforts and airtime by visiting the station's donations section on our website, Revolution.radio. That would be great. Now let's play some music for all you kids out there. We need more music. Thanks to Nancy Stewart, and this one's called Frog Pond.
Let's go down to the frog pond. Let's go down to the frog pond. Let's go down to the frog pond and listen to the froggies sing. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Let's go over to the barnyard. Let's go over to the barnyard. Let's go over to the barnyard and listen to the piggies sing. Oink, 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 oink. down to the seashore. Let's go down to the seashore and listen to the fishies sing. Look, 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 look. Let's go out into the forest. Let's go out into the forest. Let's go out into the forest and listen to the birdies sing. Tweet, 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 tweet. Let's go out into the backyard. Let's go out into the backyard. Let's go out into the backyard and listen to the honeybees sing. Buzz, 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 buzz.
I hope you get to go out in the backyard today and explore and play and see the bees and listen to them and see the birds and listen to them. And this one's called Gratitude by Nancy Stewart from nancymusic.com.
I am grateful for my family, whether near or far away. I am grateful for the food we share. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for the time we spend together at work and play. I am grateful for a song to sing. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for my dearest friends, whether near or far away. I am grateful for the memories. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for the time we spend together in many ways. I am grateful for a song to sing. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for this song we sing. I am grateful every day.
When good things happen in your life, or there are good things in your life, it's really good to be and feel grateful for them. And I'm grateful for Nancy Stewart for kindly letting me play her songs on this show, Nancy Music from nancymusic.com. And I would play them in my car turned up loud if everybody didn't think I was some crazy guy. This one's called October Moon.
October moon, you're just a sliver in the sky, growing bigger as every night goes by, till you're big and round as a pumpkin pie. You're a fine October moon. Ooh, October moon. Ooh, October moon. October moon as the clouds roll by, playing river in the sky, growing bigger as every night goes by, till you're big and round as a pumpkin pie. You're a fine October moon. Ooh, October moon. Ooh, October moon.
And I'm here in New Zealand, and the moon is getting smaller and smaller right now, and we have a waning crescent moon. And this one's called There's a Little Wheel a-Turning in My Heart.
There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. In my heart, in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. There's a little bell a-ringing in my heart. There's a little bell a-ringing in my heart. In my heart, in my heart. There's a little bell a-ringing in my heart. There's a little song a-singing in my heart. There's a little song a-singing in my heart. In my heart, in my heart. There's a little song a-singing in my heart. Oh, I feel so very happy in my heart. Oh, I feel so very happy in my heart. In my heart, in my heart. Oh, I feel so very happy in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. In my heart, in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart. There's a little wheel a-turning in my heart.
And because I was feeling so resentful for being called Johnny Boy, I need to remember about gratitude too. So I'm going to play gratitude again.
I am grateful for my family, whether near or far away. I am grateful for the food we share. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for the time we spend together at work and play. I am grateful for a song to sing. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for my dearest friends, whether near or far away. I am grateful for the memories. I am grateful every day. I am grateful for the time we spend together in many ways. I am grateful for a song to sing. I am grateful every day.
Next time the kids call me Johnny Boy, I'm going to be sure to tell them to stop. And if they keep going, I'm going to get angry. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to let them know about it. That's for sure. So then I can get all my angries out and I can spend more time feeling grateful, not resentful. And let's move on quickly to The Adventures of Maya the Bee. We're up to chapter 2 now, The House of the Rose, by Waldemar Bonsell. Let's listen to the story, what this brave little bee is up to today.
The Adventures of Maya the Bee. Chapter 2. The House of the Rose. By the time Maya woke, it was full daylight. She felt a little chilly under her big green leaf, and stiff in her limbs, so that her first movements were slow and clumsy. Clinging to a vein of the leaf, she let her wings quiver and vibrate, to limber them up and shake off the dust. Then she smoothed her fair hair, wiped her large eyes clean, and crept warily down to the edge of the leaf, where she paused and looked around. The glory and the glow of the morning sun were dazzling. Though Maya's resting place still lay in cool shadow, the leaves overhead shone like green gold. "Oh, you glorious world!" thought the little bee. Slowly, one by one, the experiences of the previous day came back to her, all the beauties she had seen and all the risks she had run. She remained firm in her resolve not to return to the hive. To be sure, when she thought of Cassandra, her heart beat fast, though it was not very likely that Cassandra would ever find her. No, no, to her there was no joy in forever having to fly in and out of the hive, carrying honey and making wax. This was clear once and for all. She wanted to be happy and free and enjoy life in her own way. Come what might, she would take the consequences. Thus lightly thought Maya, the truth being that she had no real idea of the things that lay in store for her. Afar off in the sunshine something glimmered red. A lurking impatience seized the little bee. Moreover, she felt hungry. So courageously, with a loud joyous buzz, she swung out of her hiding-place into the clear glistening air and the warm sunlight, and made straight for the red patch that seemed to nod and beckon. When she drew near, she smelled a perfume so sweet that it almost robbed her of her senses, and she was hardly able to reach the large red flower. She let herself down on the outermost of its curved petals and clung to it tightly. At the gentle tipping of the petal a shining silver sphere almost as big as herself came rolling toward her, transparent and gleaming in all the colors of the rainbow. Maya was dreadfully frightened, yet fascinated too by the splendor of the cool silver sphere, which rolled by her, balanced on the edge of the petal, leapt into the sunshine, and fell down in the grass. Oh, oh! The beautiful ball had shivered into a score of wee pearls. Maya uttered a little cry of terror, but the tiny round fragments made such a bright, lively glitter in the grass, and ran down the blades in such twinkling, sparkling little drops, like diamonds in the lamplight, that she was reassured. She turned towards the inside of the calyx. A beetle, a little smaller than herself, with brown wing sheaths and a black breastplate, was sitting at the entrance. He kept his place unperturbed, and looked at her seriously, though by no means unamiably. Maya bowed politely. "Did the ball belong to you?" she asked, and receiving no reply, added, "I am very sorry I threw it down." "Do you mean the dewdrop?" smiled the beetle, rather superior. "You needn't worry about that. I had taken a drink already, and my wife never drinks water. She has kidney trouble. What are you doing here?" "What is this wonderful flower?" asked Maya, not answering the beetle's question. "Would you be good enough to tell me its name?" Remembering Cassandra's advice, she was as polite as possible. The beetle moved his shiny head in his dorsal plate, a thing he could do easily without the least discomfort, as his head fitted in perfectly and glided back and forth without a click. "You seem to be only of yesterday," he said, and laughed, not so very politely. Altogether, there was something about him that struck Maya as unrefined. The bees had more culture and better manners, yet he seemed to be a good-natured fellow, because seeing Maya's blush of embarrassment he softened to her childish ignorance. "It's a rose," he explained indulgently, "so now you know. We moved in 4 days ago, and since we moved in it has flourished wonderfully under our care. Won't you come in?" Maya hesitated, then conquered her misgivings and took a few steps forward. He pressed aside a bright petal. Maya entered, and she and the beetle walked beside each other through the narrow chambers with their subdued light and fragrant walls. "What a charming home!" exclaimed Maya, genuinely taken with the place. "The perfume is positively intoxicating." Maya's admiration pleased the beetle. "It takes wisdom to know where to live," he said, and smiled good-naturedly. "Tell me where you live, and I'll tell you what you're worth, says an old adage. Would you like some nectar?"
"Oh," Maya burst out, "I'd love some."
The beetle nodded and disappeared behind one of the walls. Maya looked about. She was happy. She pressed her cheeks and little hands against the dainty red hangings and took deep breaths of the delicious perfume, in an ecstasy of delight at being permitted to stop in such a beautiful dwelling.
"It certainly is a great joy to be alive," she thought. "There's no comparison between the dingy, crowded stories in which the bees live and work and this house. The very quiet here is splendid."
Suddenly there was a loud sound of scolding behind the walls. It was the beetle, growling excitedly in great anger. He seemed to be hustling and pushing someone along roughly, and Maya caught the following in a clear, piping voice full of fright and mortification.
"Of course, because I'm alone, you dare to lay hands on me. But wait and see what you get when I bring my associates along. You are a ruffian. Very well, I am going. But remember, I called you a ruffian. You'll never forget that."
The stranger's emphatic tone, so sharp and vicious, frightened Maya dreadfully. In a few moments she heard the sound of someone running out. The beetle returned and sullenly flung down some nectar. "An outrage," he said. "You can't escape those vermin anywhere. They don't allow you a moment's peace." Maya was so hungry she forgot to thank him, and took a mouthful of nectar and chewed, while the beetle wiped the perspiration from his forehead and slightly loosened his upper armor so as to catch his breath.
"Who was that?"
mumbled Maya, with her mouth still full. "Please empty your mouth. Finish chewing and swallowing your nectar. One can't understand a word you say." Maya obeyed, but the excited owner of the house gave her no time to repeat her question. "It was an ant," he burst out angrily. "Do those ants think we save and store up hour after hour only for them? The idea of going right into the pantry without a how do you do or a by your leave! It makes me furious. If I didn't realize that the ill-mannered creatures actually didn't know better, I wouldn't hesitate a second to call them thieves." At this he suddenly remembered his own manners. "I beg your pardon," he said, turning to Maya. "I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Peter, of the family of rose beetles."
"My name is Maya," said the little bee shyly. "I am delighted to make your acquaintance."
She looked at Peter closely. He was bowing repeatedly and spreading his feelers like 2 little brown fans. That pleased Maya immensely.
"You have the most fascinating feelers," she said. "Simply sweet."
"Well, yes," observed Peter, flattered. "People do think a lot of them. Would you like to see the other side?"
"If I may."
The rose beetle turned his fan-shaped feelers to one side and let a ray of sunlight glide over them. "Great, don't you think?" he asked.
"I shouldn't have thought anything like them possible," rejoined Maya. "My own feelers are very plain."
"Well, yes," observed Peter. "To each his own. By way of compensation, you certainly have beautiful eyes, and the color of your body, the gold of your body, is not to be sneezed at." Maya beamed. Peter was the first person to tell her she had any good looks. Life was great. She was happy as a lark and helped herself to some more nectar. "An excellent quality of honey," she remarked. "Take some more," said Peter, rather amazed by his little guest's appetite. "Rose juice of the first vintage. One has to be careful and not spoil one's stomach. There's some dew left, too, if you're thirsty." "Thank you so much," said Maya. "I'd like to fly now, if you will permit me." The rose beetle laughed. "Flying, always flying," he said. "It's in the blood of you bees. I don't understand such a restless way of living. There's some advantage in staying in one place, too, don't you think?" Peter courteously held the red curtain aside. "I'll go as far as our observation petal with you," he said. "It makes an excellent place to fly from." "Oh, thank you," said Maya. "I can fly from anywhere." "That's where you have the advantage over me," replied Peter. "I have some difficulty in unfolding my lower wings." He shook her hand and held the last curtain aside for her. "Oh, the blue sky!" rejoiced Maya. "Goodbye." "So long," called Peter, remaining on the top petal to see Maya rise rapidly straight up to the sky in the golden sunlight and the clear, pure air of the morning. With a sigh he returned pensive to his cool rose dwelling, for though it was still early he was feeling rather warm. He sang his morning song to himself, and it hummed in the red sheen of the petals and the radiance of the spring day that slowly mounted and spread over the blossoming earth. "Golden green our field and tree, warm in summer's glow. All is bright and fair to see, while the roses blow. What or why the world may be, who can guess or know? All my world is glad and free, while the roses blow. Brief, they say, my time of glee, with the roses I go. Yes, but life is good to me, while the roses blow." End of chapter 2.
And that was Chapter 2 of Maya the Bee. The House of the Rose by Waldemar Bonsells. Have you ever been stung by a bee before? I've been stung by a bee. A few times, actually. When I was younger, I used to get really swollen if I got stung by a bee. But anyway, Maya the Bee, what an adventurous young bee. And I think, well, hopefully you like it anyway. If you like it, we're going to play each week, every chapter, until we finish it. Because she's such a brave bee, and we can learn a lot about the bees. And bees are super important, and they're very determined. We're coming up to a break now. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back, and this is Gino from the Secret Kindergarten Radio Show, and thank you for tuning in to Revolution.radio, the #1 listener-supported radio station in the whole world. So please help support our efforts and airtime by visiting the station's donation section on our website, Revolution.radio. And now, it's time for affirmations with your friend Gino. And I'm going to do a little reading, and this one's called You Know What to Do. 1, give the best. There is the best in you and in everyone. Giving the best of you is fun. You have the best ideas inside your mind. Set them free. You are one of a kind. 2, find what you love. Think of something you love to do. That is your passion, so let it shine through. Never let fear hold you back. Do what you love. You're on the right track. 3, you are filled with love. Your heart is like a magic cookie jar. All love you need is never far. So reach inside and let that love out. Those who don't love you, they can go without. Number 4. Find a quiet place inside. Life can sometimes be so loud, it's hard to listen with all those sounds. Go to a quiet place inside. There you're free inside your mind. Number 5. Make today great. In your life, plenty has happened so far. That's part of what makes you who you are. But don't worry too much about yesterday. What matters is what you do with today. Number 6. Change your thoughts to good. Some problems are big and some are small. Thinking good thoughts can help you solve them all. You can ask for help with what's bugging you. And never forget, God is always there too. Number 7. Take care of yourself. If someone hurts you and you feel bad, don't let it ruin your day by making you sad. Use your ideas to take care of you. Stop them from hurting others. You know what to do. Number 8. Picture what you want. Pretend you are what you'd like to be. Make a picture in your mind so you can see that what you want can come true. Put your heart into action. It will come to you. Number 9. Everyone is special, especially you. There's something on earth that all people share. It's the source of all good and love everywhere. What is this great mystery, you may say? It is God that connects us together this way. Number 10. Good thoughts give you energy. Your thoughts affect your energy, and your energy affects how you feel. Your feelings affect your actions each day, so do what you think is right. That's the way. Alrighty. I'm going to read you a story, an affirmation story by Louise Hay, and it's called Lulu the Ant. Are you ready? Once, not long ago, in a town not much different from yours, there lived a little girl named Lulu. She had big blue eyes and curly blonde hair, which she liked to tie with a ribbon into the tiniest little ponytail on the back of her head. She lived in a big house with 2 windows on each side of the front door that made it look like a happy face, with the steps leading to the porch as the smile. There were many old trees in the yard. They protected the house and gave Lulu branches to climb on and supported an old tire to swing on. There was always something fun to do in Lulu's yard. Many times Lulu had to play by herself. She had a baby brother whose name was Barry, and he was so small that her parents were always taking care of him. Lulu didn't mind, really. She knew that someday Barry would be older and not need so much attention. Right now, he was just a baby and needed to be taken care of by her parents. Besides, she enjoyed playing by herself. There were so many interesting things to discover. On one lazy afternoon, Lulu lay in the front yard and watched the clouds drift by. She made a game of imagining that the clouds were actually a circus going by. She could see elephants and tigers and clowns and even a beautiful woman on a flying trapeze. She was having the most wonderful time when suddenly she felt something crawling on her arm. She looked down and there was an ant. Lulu smiled and said, "Oh, it's just a little ant." When the ant heard this, he became angry and crossed his tiny little arms across his chest and snapped. "Pfft, well, you're just a little girl." Lulu felt sorry for what she had said and apologized. "I'm sorry, little ant. I didn't mean it to sound like that. I'm sure you're a very important ant." "Oh, that's all right," he replied. "People always think we're all the same. I just get a little tired of hearing it. Whenever we go to people's picnics or are wandering through their homes, we always hear the same thing. Ants! People don't realize that we're all different, just like you are." Lulu liked the little ant. She leaned down closer and said, "You're a nice little ant. Tell me some more." The little ant was so happy to talk with a new friend. "We're building a city under the ground called Cincinnati," he told her. "I have a big rock to move, only you're in my way. I was going to tickle your ear so that you might move." Lulu got up quickly and offered, "I can help you move the rock. I'm very strong." The little ant was so pleased, he quickly crawled back to where he had left his rock and said, "Here it is. Can you lift this?" The rock was very, very small to Lulu. In fact, it was more like a large grain of sand. She carefully pinched the rock between her fingers and moved it to where he wanted it. The ant was so happy. "You would make a wonderful ant," he said. "Won't you come and live with me? Why, with you working with us, we'd have our city built in no time." Lulu smiled at the ant. "I'm afraid I wouldn't fit in your city. It's so much smaller than I am. I just couldn't be an ant." The little ant looked puzzled. "But why can't you?" he asked. "In my city we have a little song that we sing all the time. It goes like this. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can be what you want to be. All of life supports you." Well, that's a funny little song, Lulu giggled. But what does it mean? It means that we may all be different, but we each have the power within us to do wonderful things with our lives, the little ant explained. "You can do what you want to do. There's nothing to stop you." "I'd like to dance," Lulu said. "I'd love to be a ballerina." "You can if you want," the little ant told her. Lulu looked down at her new friend and said sadly, "I don't think so. My mother took me to a dance class and the teacher said that my legs were too skinny and that I wouldn't make a good ballerina." The little ant stomped his tiny foot as loud as a little ant could stomp it. "If you want to be a ballerina, you can be a ballerina," he shouted. "Let me show you a little trick. It starts in your mind." Lulu sat straight up and listened carefully to what the little ant said. "We're going to play a game. Begin by imagining yourself in the most beautiful theatre in the world." Lulu shut her eyes and suddenly in front of her she could see herself in the most beautiful theatre she could imagine. "Now," the little ant continued, "see yourself dancing on stage. You're the prettiest and most graceful ballerina there ever was. Can you see it?" Lulu could see it. She was so excited that she almost opened her eyes, but she wanted the feeling to last forever. There she was on the stage, dancing beautifully, even if her legs were still a little skinny. Slowly, her vision faded, and she opened her eyes. "I saw it!" she cried. "I was so beautiful and dancing so gracefully. Oh, thank you. I just know that I can become a wonderful ballerina if I want to." And then she frowned. "But I also like horses," Lulu said. "Could I become a horseback rider in the circus?" "Of course you can," her tiny pal replied. "If that's what you truly want, then you'll find a way to get it. Just play this imagination game." Lulu closed her eyes and imagined herself standing atop a majestic white horse as it galloped around the ring of the circus. She felt so happy. But then she frowned again. but I also like to help people when they're sick. Lulu explained. Do you think I could become a doctor? You can do that too if you want to, the little ant affirmed. Lulu imagined herself working in a lovely doctor's office, helping people get well. She became very excited. There really are so many things I can do, aren't there? She exclaimed. The little ant smiled a great big smile. Of course there are. Just remember, whenever you feel that you can't do something, imagine yourself doing it. Your thoughts are very powerful. They can make so many good things happen for you. Sometimes it takes a little while, but it will happen if you really want. And also, sing my little song to yourself all the time. It will help remind you that nothing is impossible. And he sang once more, you can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can be what you want to be. All of life supports you. Now I have to get back to work, the little ant said. Lulu smiled down at her new friend. Thank you for talking to me. I really had a wonderful time. Can we talk again? Of course we can, the little ant smiled. I'd invite you to dinner, but you wouldn't fit in my house. Perhaps we can have a picnic. We ants love people picnics. You can bring the food. That would be fun, Lulu agreed, and with that the little ant scurried back into the little hole in the ground to get back to work. It had been a lovely afternoon. The warm breeze played with Lulu's hair, then raced through the leaves in the trees. In the distance, Lulu could hear her baby brother Barry, making the gurgly sounds that only babies know how to make. Her mother came out of the front porch and called, Lulu, come in now, it's time for dinner. Lulu got up off the ground, dusted herself off, and happily headed towards the house while singing the song that the little ant had taught her. I can be what I want to be. I can do what I want to do. I can be what I want to be. All of life supports me. And there you have it. And that's true. You just got to put your mind to it and you can do anything. Just put it into your mind, imagine it, and go out and do it. And we've got a little bit of time before we do our group activity. So I'm going to play another one of these amazing songs. We're going to play the Owl song.
Who are you? The owl seems to say. Who are you? He's asking every day. Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you poo? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Who are you? Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you who? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Yes, I have questions too.
And this one's called Hey There, What Are You Thankful For?
Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for? Hey there, what are you thankful for?
Oh, we're coming up to the end of the show. So it's group activity time. So all you kids out there, I want you to join me in this activity. And if your mummy and daddies are with you, they got to do it too, because that's how it works. Okay. Are you ready? This activity is called the butterfly body scan. With the help from an imaginary butterfly, we are going to move our attention from one part of our body to another. Okay. So, for this one, you got to sit down or lie down and get comfortable. Okay, are you sitting down or lying down? Okay, let's focus on our breathing. How does it feel? How does that breathing feel? Now, picture a beautiful butterfly that's as light as a feather. Choose a color. What color is your butterfly? My butterfly is blue. Close your eyes and focus on the butterfly in your imagination. Okay, just take a minute. Think of that butterfly. Oh, my butterfly looks really cool. All right. We're going to pretend that the butterfly rests on different parts of our body. And when it lands, our body feels relaxed there, all right? Let's start with our foreheads, okay? Let's imagine the butterfly landing on our forehead. And our forehead relaxing when the butterfly rests on it. Now, imagine the butterfly floats off your forehead and moves on to your left shoulder and rests there. Can you feel your shoulder relax? Oh, my left shoulder's so relaxed. Now, imagine the butterfly flying over to your right shoulder and landing there. Oh, my right shoulder feels relaxed. Now imagine the butterfly flying onto your knee, your left knee. Can you feel your knee relaxing? Now, imagine the butterfly going onto your other knee and landing there. Oh, my knees are relaxed. Now imagine your butterfly flying onto your nose. Oh. Feel your nose relax. Can you feel your body starting to relax? Now take a minute to imagine your butterfly going to other parts of your body. Where's your butterfly landing? Because wherever he lands, he's relaxing you. All right. Now, take a deep breath in and reach your hands all the way up to the sky. And as you breathe out, you lower your arms down. And breathe in and reach your hands up to the sky. And breathe out and lower your arms down like a butterfly stretching his wings. Her wings. And we got room for one more big breath in. Arms up to the sky. And breathe out. And lower our arms. And that's our group activity. Oh, the butterfly body scan. Well, I hope you liked it. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the Secret Kindergarten radio show right here on Revolution.radio. Thanks to all my friends at Revolution.radio for having me on the station. And I'll see all you kids next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.